this video, we'll be unboxing Philips' 4000 series stacked dual basket air fryer and testing it through various recipes such as some after-school snacks, easy dinners, and some pre-cooked supermarket meals. We'll give you the specifications of the air fryer, including the dimensions, functions, and cleaning process. This model features a stacked dual basket design rather than the baskets being side by side, which means it takes up less counter space. The baskets and trays on this model are non-stick coated and dishwasher safe. The basket measured to be 9 by 24 centimeters with a depth of 11.5 centimeters. This air fryer runs at 1750 watts with a top heating element and a strong fan for fast air circulation. It has a solid black plastic finish on the outside of the air fryer. The air fryer comes with some preset functions for frozen chips, beef, fish, vegetables, chicken, and reheating food. The temperature ranges from 40 to 200 degrees Celsius, while the time can last from 1 minute to an hour. We use my dad's watch to test how loud the unit is while it's running in decibels. The room was originally 36 decibels loud, and with the air fryer on it's 59, making the air fryer 23 decibels loud. The maximum volume it reached was 62 decibels, making it 26 decibels loud. We left paper towels next to the air fryer vents while it was running to show off how much hot air is being released. Ensure you're storing all condiments and sauces at least 15 centimeters away from the air fryer vents, as the hot air release will spoil them. The first test we'll be using this air fryer for is an after-school snack, including frozen pizza, chicken goujon, and dim sims. Both baskets have a capacity of 5 liters, so it was easy to load in the chicken and dim sims in one basket and the frozen pizzas in the other. We ran the pizzas at 180 degrees Celsius for 9 minutes and the chicken for 12. We use the sync function, which allows them to finish at the same time, meaning they'll both be warm and ready to eat. For the chicken goujon and the dim sims, we set a halfway reminder to shake to ensure that they both get an even cooking. The air fryer has a clear window and lights that can be turned on and off so you can view the food on the inside while it's cooking. Once the food is finished, we can plate it easily. The whole cooking process is pretty simple, and my brother can do it after school. I serve my fried snacks with ketchup and mayonnaise, though you can pick whichever condiments you'd want. Overall, the chicken goujon was pretty crunchy, and the dim sums were soft and hot on the inside, with a slight crisp on the outside. Meanwhile, the pizza's cheese was completely melted, and the base was soft and not dried out. Moving on to the next test, my dad wanted to try a simple meal containing lamb cutlets and broccoli. We coated the broccoli with a mix of oil, onion powder, and garlic powder. As for the lamb, we started preparing by dicing some rosemary and crushing some garlic. We chopped up the garlic and threw it into our mortar and pestle. We grounded it up and added a touch of oil, salt, and pepper, and it was ready to marinate the lamb in. Make sure to get both sides of the lamb coated evenly. We place the lamb cutlets in the top basket and the broccoli in the bottom, and ensure to add any leftover marinade on top of the lamb. We'll be air frying the lamb at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes and the broccoli at 180 degrees Celsius for 7. We use the sync finish mode to ensure both would finish at the same time. We were able to monitor the cooking process through the clear window. Once it was finished, my dad plated it nicely and served with my mum's mashed potatoes. The broccoli had a nice crunch, was seasoned perfectly, and wasn't overcooked. The lamb came out medium, tender, and juicy. If you prefer your lamb well done, I'd suggest adding an extra 2 minutes. Overall, it wasn't too hard to prepare and suits a lazy after-work dinner. Next, we'll be guiding you through the air fryer's cleaning process. First, my dad disassembled and gave the parts a quick wipe to remove any oil. Then a wash with warm and soapy water. Both baskets and trays are dishwasher safe, though my dad prefers the hand wash to protect the non-stick effects. After washing, give both baskets a quick dry and they can be stuck straight back into the machine. For the outside, we opt for a quick wipe down with a towel. For our next test, we'll be trying burgers and testing this viral hack to make the chips crispier. It starts by soaking frozen chips in water, then draining the water and shaking the chips thoroughly. After that, we microwave for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll start to prepare the meat, which are Australian beef frozen Angus burger patties. We'll fit 2 in the top basket and set the microwave chips in the bottom basket. We'll give the chips a quick shake to spread them out through the basket. For the patties, we'll be air frying at 190 degrees Celsius for 16 minutes, and the chips will be air frying at 200 degrees Celsius for 15. We use the sync finish function as well as set a shake reminder to remember to shake the chips and flip the burger patties. Whilst they were cooking, I spread butter over the burger buns so they were ready for toasting. When the halfway reminder rang, we flipped the burgers and shook the chips. Once the chips were finished, we gave them a toss in salt. They weren't as crispy as we expected, though in future we'll do a video comparing the chips with the hack and without them. In the bottom basket, we were able to just fit 4 burger buns, and we toasted for 260 degrees Celsius for 3 minutes. As you can hear, the outside of the bread was quite crunchy, whilst the middle was still soft. For the sauce, I used my favorite burger sauce from Costco, though really any sauce works. Next comes a layer of shredded lettuce, sliced tomato, and I carefully added the patty on top. I added on a layer of cheese, and my dad toasted it using the blowtorch. Finally, on goes some sliced onions, and then the top bun. I used half a skewer to hold everything together, and it was ready to serve with the chips. The patties were juicy and held their moisture, and the buns were fresh and crispy. It was a solid burger I'd definitely make again. There was a lot of leftover oil in the air fryer, so we cleaned it out to be disposed of correctly. A quick wipe down with a paper towel removed most of it. From there, our next test will be some instant pork belly bites and some crispy pork belly. For the pork belly bites, we used a paper liner to reduce any mess caused by the sauce. By separating the meat with tongs, we ensure that each part is evenly cooked. Moving on to our pork belly recipe, we dried the skin and meat with a paper towel. Then I carefully sliced the meat, slicing only halfway through to allow seasoning to seep through. For our seasoning, we prepared a mixture of onion and garlic powder. I gave it a thorough rub into the meat and laid the piece out on a sheet of foil, wrapping the edges enough to just cover the sides. If the foil is too long, just cut the edges. Make sure to leave the top exposed so that we can crisp up the skin. We used the meat tenderizer to poke holes all throughout the skin, then used another paper towel to pat the skin dry. After that, I used the paper towel to rub oil into the skin and then a sprinkle of salt. I used my fingers to rub the salt into the skin and then set it down in the top basket of the air fryer. We synced both baskets and air fried at 180 degrees for 15 minutes. We could see the pork cooking and the sauce sizzling. Halfway through, we got a reminder to give the pork bites a quick mix. After the 15 minutes, I used a paper towel to rub off as much salt as I could. Then we sent it back into the air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius for another 15 minutes. Meanwhile, the pork belly bites were ready to serve. My dad carefully plated them and served with rice and seasoned with spring onion and furikake. The sauce was sweet and flavorful, and the meat was soft and tender, pairing well with the seasoning and rice. Once the pork belly was finished, the skin was already starting to crisp up, though we rotated it so the back would have a chance to cook as well. We let that run for another 5 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. By then, the skin was visually crunchy, though we rotated it one final time onto its side and then sent it back in the air fryer for another 5 minutes. After that, it was ready to remove and sit. The skin was quite audibly crunchy. My dad chopped it up into slices, ready to serve. Overall, the skin was quite crunchy and the meat was soft and juicy, though it wasn't one of our best pork bellies. Thanks for watching until the end, and we really appreciate your support. Please let us know if there's any other recipes you'd like us to try.